Hello, welcome. Is that too loud? Or is that okay back there? All right. Zoomies, hopefully it's okay for you. Welcome. Looks like spring break here. It's very quiet at Monona Terrace. So we got the place to ourselves today. If you sit up tall, and I know some of you are on your backs, but if you'd sit up tall, we'll start sitting today. We're going to do a lot of the stuff that we did the last couple of weeks, but adding on a little bit. So let's just let your legs be crossed if that feels good, or one leg out, or both legs out, whatever feels right to you. And then start to rock a little side to side. And that can be super tiny, can be very small. Just notice your body in space. Notice what this feels like to you to have some movement. We'll be rolling a little later on. So we're just kind of getting our inner ears ready for some of that kind of movement. Start to make some circles all the way around. Go slow. Just finding our centers here. Notice if there are any places that are a little tight or a little uncomfortable. Maybe pause there for a breath. You can be as organic with this as you like. You can bring your neck into it. And then switch and go the other way. Kind of noticing if one direction is more natural for you than the other. Good. And then come up and find that center place and that place of stillness. Let your arms rest down. Let your shoulder blades drop down your back. Draw your spine up tall. Feel free to shut your eyes or just gaze softly and check in from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet, noticing whatever you notice, any sensation, tingling, rhythm of your breath or your heart, any busy thoughts, any places that feel a little tight, uncomfortable, always honoring any injured spots. And also noticing those places that feel rested and ready to move. And then today I invite you to bring a hand to your heart and one to your belly. See if you can slow your breath a little bit, slowing down the inhale and the exhale. Notice if more breath goes to your upper hand, or you feel more in your lower hand, or maybe equally. Take one or two more breaths like this. And then allow your hands to come back to your legs. Notice in once more. Just notice if anything's changed. And then gently drop your chin down toward your chest. We're going to start warming up from the top down. So just a little bit of work in the neck, up and down really gently. And then we'll go side to side. Feel free to pause wherever you need a little extra attention. And then maybe let your chin slide down back and forth across your chest. Notice into your upper back. Notice any sensation, any muscles being stretched, any muscles engaging. Good. And then come on back to center. One other little thing here. Bring your hands up to your rib cage. So you're kind of circling your rib cage. And make it smaller, like not with your hands, but with your muscles. Feel that rib, those muscles engage there. Release it, let it go. And then one more time, making it smaller. Good. Can you feel that? And then let it go. Let's take both arms up. Let them just float up now. Inhale up and exhale down. I'm going to add a little twist to this today. Inhale up. As your arms come down, turn to your right and inhale up. It doesn't have to be a big twist, right? Kind of leaving our belly buttons forward, twisting with the upper body. Let's do one more each side. Nice. Go ahead and bring your hands front. Lace them, lace your fingers, turn them inside out. When you lace your fingers, notice which finger's on top. Notice which index finger's on top. Turn it inside out. And we'll inhale up and exhale down. If it feels nice to let your spine round, do that. We'll do one more like that. Nice. And let your spine round without unlacing your fingers. Turn them over. Change them so the other index finger's on top. Doesn't that feel weird? And then turn them inside out. Maybe the arms don't go up as high this way. That's okay. Exhale. Nice. One more like that. Inhale up. And exhale. Good. Let's get a little lateral flexion here. So left arm up, right arm out. Keep both sides of your body long. Lift your heart and take a bend to one side. As you come up, let your hand rest on your head. We're not pulling on our necks. We're just letting the hand rest. Yeah, nice. And we'll do the same thing other sides. So we'll reach up, both sides of the body stay long. Take that bend. Notice if this feels different on the side. And then as you come up, let that hand just rest on your head. Good. And let it go. Let's come to all fours. We're going to wake up our hips a little bit here. Moving down the body. Spread your fingers really nice and wide. Bring a little bend to your elbows. Make sure your hands are pretty much underneath your shoulders. And then we'll find a little cat-cow to start. Just kind of working down the back. Good. A big exhale takes us to cat. Notice how your body just fills up with air. After that exhale, really focus on the exhales today. The inhale just happens. Exhale. Good. Come back, find a neutral spine. Take your right leg out behind you. Bring it up and let your knee bend because we're going to make some hip circles here. Going one direction. They don't have to be big. Notice what feels good for you. Notice if your body's rocking over to the side, maybe make them a little bit smaller. We're controlling. The only thing that's moving is the hip. And then we'll switch and go the other way. Good. Bring that leg down. Walk yourself back to the first child's pose of the day. Do what feels nice with your arms. Maybe they reach out. Maybe they come to your sides or underneath your head. And breathe into your back. Walk back up. Take the other leg back. Let your knee bend. Find some hip circles on this side. Just the range of motion that feels good for this side. And then we'll switch and go the other way. And one more. And we'll sit back to child's pose again. Find a comfortable position for your knees. Reach your arms out in front. Let your hips be heavy. And then I invite you to walk your hands over to the right if that's available today. Stacking left down right. And let your left hip be heavy. So really focusing over there, focusing on the exhales. With each exhale, imagine sinking a little bit closer to the floor. We're not pushing it, we're just allowing. And then gently walk your hands across to the other side, maybe stacking one hand on the other. Let the opposite hip be heavy. With each exhale, we're sinking down, just melting into the floor just a little bit more. And release that. Let's come back to all fours. We've been working on this little hip rocking thing. Take your right toes out to the side. Lift your right knee up. Set your hips back in a way that feels natural and good to your body. Come forward, bring the knee down. Yep, bring the toes in. Do two more just like that. So rocking out, rocking back, coming forward. Undo that. Yep, one more. Nice. That leg that was just moving, take it back behind you, step it across, and have a look back at it. And then bring it back to center. We'll do the same thing other side. So toes out, rock it back, rock it forward, put it down. Do a couple more at your own pace. Yeah, maybe one more. Good. That leg that was moving, step it back and over and have a look back at it. Good. Let's come back to center. Let's get a little twist here. So take your right arm up, swing it through, come down as far as feels nice, maybe to your elbow. To your elbow, to your wrist. No, to your shoulder or to the side of your head, or maybe not that far. And then let that arm float back up, and we'll get a nice twist on the other side. So the other arm up, maybe down to the side of the head, maybe down toward the shoulder. And then float that hand back up. Nice. All right, turn your toes under. Live toes, active toes. We're going to rock back. Feel the bottoms of your feet. Feel your ankles. Feel your toes. Only as far as feels good to your feet. Good. And then come forward. Take your fingers out to the sides. I've got the heel of my hand on my mat. And then rock a little side to side. And check out your shoulder blades. Nice. And then come back to center without much weight at all. Turn your hands backwards. I've moved them closer to my legs, so I have a little better control over how much pressure I'm putting these. Turn your fingers toward your toes. Yeah, that's different. Come on up. Take your hands and flick them. Yeah, Just going to shake it out, just like we're flicking water off our fingertips. All right. Hands to the mat, fingers spread wide, little bend in your elbows. Take yourself to a downward dog. Really nice and soft down dog. Let your knees bend. Walk your heels toward the mat. They never have to get there. And then stay here and just find a little stillness. Knees as bent as you like. Let your head hang down. Good. And then float your left leg up. Step it forward between your hands. We're going to get off of our wrists now. Drop your right knee to the mat and we'll come all the way up. Yeah, so we're still kneeling. We're taking it slow today. Let's exhale down and inhale up. And exhale down. And inhale up. Good, one more. Bring your hands to cactus. Lift your heart. Long spine. Bring your hands heart center. Reach them out in front of you. Whatever leg is in front, that's the arm that's going to stay. The other arm's going to reach to the sky and maybe behind. Yeah, nice. Cartwheel all the way back around, big circle with both arms. Place the hand inside your foot and take a twist toward your knee. And then come back to all fours. And we'll press back to downward dog one more time. Rock your hips a little bit. Let your feet walk. Good. Float your right leg up. And step forward between the hands. Drop your left knee to the mat. Yep. And we'll come up, same thing this side. So we're just going to move with our breath a little bit here. One more like that. Yeah, bring your arms to cactus, long spine. Bring your hands heart center, send them forward, whatever leg is in front. That's the arm that's going to stay. The other one reaches to the ceiling. Good. Cartwheel your arms all the way back around. Hand inside the foot. Take a twist to your knee. Nice. Good modifications. Go ahead and frame your foot. Step back to all fours. And we're going to move from a plank because we're going to do some planks today. This will be our only big front plank. Yeah. And you could be on your knees. You could be on your elbows. And we're just going to hold it for 8. So how long are we holding it? 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop it all the way down. A little protesting here in the room. Let's take some baby cobras without using your hands. You can leave your hands down, but don't use them to come up. Just feel the engagement of your back. Nice. On this last one, something a little bit different. Bring your hands close to your chest and then pull back with your hands to lift your body. It's something different. Something different. Exhale down. Nice. Take both arms out in front. We're going to reach opposite arm and leg. Just keep them slow today. But feel that diagonal engagement across your back. Nice neutral neck. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hands to your sides, however you like. Make your way to downward dog. Exhaling real slowly back. Let your legs walk, let your back release. Take a little time here. Just shake that out. Good. Float your left leg up. Step forward between your hands. And do what you need to do to make your way to a high lunge. That's always the hardest part, I think. Inhale up. Just like when we were kneeling, we're going to exhale down. You can take a little more range of motion if you like. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Good. One more. Beautiful. Bring your arms to cactus. Keep that nice long spine. Lift your heart. And bring your hands heart center. Yeah. Turn your back foot out. Let's find that warrior two. Isn't it that nice and stable compared to that lunge? So drop your shoulder blades down your back. Front hands to the sky. Good. Come back to warrior two. Let's do two more like that. Yep. Good. Hold this one here. Take your elbow to your knee. Take this hand up and then all the way back to warrior two. Elbow to knee, swing that arm around. Warrior two. Nice, last one. We all good here? Reach out. As you straighten that front leg, find your triangle. Find some space here. Fingertip to fingertip. Yep. Nice. Keep your triangle legs, come all the way up. Revolve your triangle. We know all of this. Come back to warrior two. Stay here. Two big breaths. Good. Turn your toes forward. And if you're facing the back, that's okay. Just remember what legs you are on, right? Turn your toes forward, forward fold. If you want to come in just with a straight hinge, you can. You could put your hands on your thighs. You could round down. What do you need today? Yeah, two big breaths here. And then bring your hands down. Let your head drop down. Hands could be on thighs. They could be on the floor. You could shake your head no, nod your head yes, do all the things. You could grab elbows and sway if that's part of your practice. And we'll come all the way back up. Yeah, let's take arms to the side. Turn that foot forward. So we're on the opposite side, right? So remember which side you were on with your warrior two, right here. Good. Turn your front palm up. We'll reach back. Inhale. Exhale, landing back in warrior two. Nice. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale. And inhale, reach. Exhale. Good. Elbow to knee. We'll swing that arm up. Come all the way back to warrior two. Good. Elbow to knee. We're scooping it up. Nice, last one. Just land here, arrive, let your shoulder blades drop down your back. And then reach out, straighten that front leg, find yourself a triangle. It's a big pose. Good. Keep your triangle legs. Rotate your body up. And let's come back to center. Bring your heels in, toes out. We'll sit down, little leg strength here. You could rock it. You could march it. You can come to toes on both sides. It's up to you. And we haven't done a whole lot of this before, but let's step in a little bit and just drop down. See what a squat would be like. Nice. Get out of this. Let's put hands on thighs and give a little help up. Let's inhale up and bring your hands heart center. That was a lot. Just notice. And then let's turn back to that same side. Find your warrior two. Cartwheel down, frame your foot because we did it on the other side. Kick that front leg back behind you. And then bring yourself down to the mat. Yeah. Let's play with some side planks. Okay. So, a couple options, lots of options here. If you take your left leg out to the side and then walk your hands over to the right, there we are, modification one. Option one. Option two. Nice. Bring your hands down, come to all fours. Yep, and step back to plank. Option three is to turn back on that same side, straight arms, straight legs. Or do the bent knee one. Just different poses. Good. Let's come back down. Find a child's pose, take a rest, get some weight off your wrists. Let's come up to kneeling again and just flick those fingers. Let that go. All right. Set up the other side. So face forward again. Take your right leg out to the side this time. We'll walk your hands over to the left. Do what you need to with this bottom leg to make it comfortable. And we'll take our option one. Another option. And then turn to the long edge of your mat. Step your feet back. If you want to, come into that other side plank. Strong shoulders, strong core. Nice long line. Beautiful. All right. Come on out of that. Take a rest. We'll drop back. I like to bring arms either to my sides or over my head to let the wrists rest. You could also put your fists underneath your forehead. Find something restful. Notice this nice round back we have right now. We're going to use that. So go ahead and sit up. Again, lots of options for this rolling. Option one, just come on up and balance. You can hold on as tight as you like, or you can bring your hands to the outside and not hang on much at all. Yeah, that feels kind of good, doesn't it? Let's do it. So there's our option one. Always just fine to come back to this. Good option. If you're going to roll, chin stays down, no flat backs. We're going to roll back and up and find the balance. Yeah, a few more. Nice. Take a rest. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your body just drop over your feet. So now we have two options. You could balance, you could roll, you could be a seal, a sea lion. If you're doing this, it's totally ridiculous. We clap 3 times in the front, 3 times in the back. Yeah, and I've got my hands like palms up underneath legs. I can't reach the outside and make it happen, but do what feels right to you. Maybe 3 of those. Take a rest. It's a lot of movement. Let your wrist rest. We have 3 options now. The fourth is to switch the feet. So you could come up and just hold, hang out. You could hold and switch your feet, or you could roll back, switch your feet. I like to come all the way up and over, but you could balance. Choose your roll and do about 3, or your balance. How'd it go? I think I made my mat all wonky. There we go. There we go. Go ahead and sit forward. Take one leg out. Take your left leg out in front of you. Bring your right leg in as close as feels good. Sit up really nice and tall with your spine. Yep. And then let's take an open twist first. So take your right arm around, send your left arm slightly behind, and kind of look over that left shoulder. And then we'll take the leg across. You don't have to take it across. We're going to take a twist to the other side, though. It can be on either side of your leg. Good. Let's switch legs. So the foot can be on the outside or the inside. I'll sit up tall. Take the open twist first. Nice. And if it felt good on the other side, close that twist. Kind of crunchy through the belly. All right. Come back to center. Shake it out. One more plank for today. A back plank. Options. You could come up on feet and hands. You could have one leg straight, or you could have both legs straight. If you love that Pilates kick, you could do that. Yeah. Check in with your elbows. Make sure they're not locked out. One more breath. And let that go. Yeah, just bring those arms forward. A little note on arms there. If you turn your fingers towards your toes, it might not be super comfortable. It keeps a little bend in the elbows. If you turn your fingers out, you can still easily keep a little bend. When you turn your fingers back, at least for me, it's really hard to not lock out the elbows. So let's set it up just one more time just to try that. Choose a hand position and see if you can keep your elbows from locking out. Nice. And drop down. Yeah, let's go all the way to our backs. We worked enough. Drop your body back, grab your legs, and roll yourself side to side. Or take those knees all the way around in a circle for some low back massage. If you're circling, switch that. Nice. Keep your left knee. Take your right leg long. Draw that left leg in. Yep. And then take that leg that's bent straight to the sky. If that means you bend your bottom leg, go ahead with that. And then let's cross this top leg over the bottom leg. Pull in on your bottom leg. That leg can be straight or it can be bent. So the leg that you're holding on to now is the leg that comes in. We'll start the other side. So give a nice leg squeeze there. And then straighten that leg up. And we'll cross it over the opposite leg. And release that. For something a little different, let's do legs up the wall without a wall. So just legs straight up to the sky. If you want to circle your ankles, go ahead with that. If you want to circle your ankles and your wrists. Here's a thing, kind of like our shoulder thing or our finger circles. Have a look at your feet and circle them away from each other. Just gives us something to do while we're here with legs up the wall. Stop. Look at your wrists, circle them toward each other. And stop. See if you can circle your feet out now and your wrists in. Just for fun. It's Friday. Good. And then flick that water off your hands and your feet. I know it's ridiculous, but it feels kind of good. Just shake it out. And then we'll stretch out long fingertips to toes. We got one more bit of engagement here, but let's get a stretch before we do it. All right. Bring your elbows to your knees. We've been doing these bugs. Yep. Straighten your right leg and your right leg and your left arm. And then just go back and forth. And a little march here. Good. Stop. Take your right leg and your left arm to the floor, toes and fingers. Bring them up. And do that a few times. A little different march here. And then either of those is fine. Or stretch your arm and your leg out straight. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take arms and legs long again. One big stretch. And then bring your feet to the floor, hands to the floor. Let's roll a couple bridges just to let all of that go. So all the way up, hips high, and then roll down one vertebrae at a time. All the way up. Nice. Big exhale brings us down. Inhale floats us up. Exhale brings us down. Good. And then your choice. You could do knees in close, You could take another long stretch if happy baby is part of your practice and you like happy baby. That's an option. Lots of nice options. And then as usual, let's end with a little bit of a twist. So I like to shift hips off to one side before I let my legs drop. And then if it feels good, open the arms and look away from the legs. And just notice whatever you notice. Yeah, one leg at a time. Let's come back to center. Shifting the hips off to the other side. Letting your legs drop. And then come on back to center. Get set up Shavasana or constructive rest or even sitting to end class today. Wherever you are, just allow your body to be heavy. Let your belly be soft. Notice if there's any places that you're still holding tension. See if you can breathe into those spots and let it go. And then bring your attention back to your breath. We're just going to stay here for about a minute. And every time your mind wanders, and it will, that's what our minds do, see if you can direct it back to your breath, noticing the inhale, noticing the sensation of the inhale and the exhale. Just noticing the heaviness of our bodies on the floor and that breath flowing in and flowing out. And stay just a little longer. And go ahead and allow your body to move. Notice what you're needing. Are you needing another stretch? Are you needing some movement? Are you needing to let your legs sway? And then before you come up, turn on one side, take a pause there. Yep. And then gently make your way to sitting. Now let's take a breath together. May we dwell in safety. May we be happy and healthy. May we be at peace. Namaste. Have a great weekend and happy Easter, everybody. It didn't do it that time. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Bye, Zoomies.